Hello, I'm Johan Sandberg at Emerson. This video will explain how the Rosemount 5900 2-in-1 radar level gauge meets the standard of the API 2350. First of all, what is the API 2350? It's a standard for preventing overfill of large storage tanks. Edition 5 is the current standard. The API 2350 standard covers many topics in the tank farm operation and equipment. But in this case, let's focus on Chapter 4, 5 and Annex A, describing overfill prevention systems and AOPS. In this section, the API 2350 defines different tank categories. Like you see in the example here, a busy tank with many filling cycles poses a higher risk of overfill. This is a typical Category 3 tank. A Category 3 tank has a tank gauge and a separate high alarm, and has a manual shutdown of the tank filling. The API 2350 standards require that a Category 3 tank shall have a high-level alarm which is independent of the tank gauge. The standard does not describe how this independence shall be made. It's up to the designer or the end user to decide on the degree of independence. Above Category 3, there is another concept called Automatic Overfill Prevention System, or AOPS. This is described in Annex A of the standard. An AOPS consists of a sensor, a logic solver, and a motorized valve. This is an example of an automatic overfill prevention system as per API 2350. On the right side, you'll notice the tank gauging system, and on the left is the AOPS, consisting of the radar, the logic solver, and the motorized valve that shut down the tank inlet. Both sides separated and independent. In Annex A, it states that the AOPS should be designed and installed in such a way that any failure of the tank gauge should not affect the AOPS function. Again, the standard does not define the separation and the independence of the tank gauge and the AOPS system. Here is another example of an AOPS, but this time you can see the Rosemount 5900 2-in-1 radar tank gauge installed in the process. Separation is achieved by using two separate Rosemount 2410 tank hubs. A failure on the tank gauging side will not affect the AOPS function. This means it will comply to the writing in API 2350 Annex A. As a conclusion, Rosemount 5900S 2-in-1 comply with API 2350. Use separate Rosemount 2410 for each radar unit. The API 2350 does not define independence or separation. The end user has final say if this is independent enough. Thank you for watching. To learn more about how the Rosemount 5900 2-in-1 radar level gauge comply to the API 2350, download our complete guide to API 2350 Edition 5. It's available in 6 languages.